Today is Thursday, December the 3rd. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is my daily thought, which I can't even believe that it's Thursday already. Thursday is here. But yeah, the week is just flying by. Tomorrow, hopefully, I will be saying it's Friday, December the 4th. but yeah, here we are. And there was something that I meant to tell you guys and gals, but I don't remember what it was. So, what was it? It was something. I don't remember. Wow. See, this is why you should write stuff down sometimes. When I do this, I rarely write anything down. It's usually at the moment. And sometimes when I stop recording, I'll remember like, oh, I should have added that. But I prefer to do things, straight from my head because it's more authentic that way. There isn't any planning in it to examine like, oh, well, should I word it this way or should I word it that way? It's just like, whatever comes out, comes out. That's why I always tell people you get things unfiltered on the show and very raw. And the only editing I do is when I change certain things around with the opening and with the ending. And yeah, in the audio. But other than that, that's it. I don't edit what I say. So if I slip up or say something wrong or what have you throughout the show that I recorded, I don't go back and edit it out because I feel things happen as they were meant to happen. And I'm not looking to give you a polished version of me. I would just rather give you me, which that's a show within itself. And I was thinking about doing that as a daily thought too, while I'm talking about that, about being in relationships and how some people have these expectations where the person that they're with has to be, camera ready all the time, even if they're at home eating some popcorn and watching a movie. So, yeah, I'm thinking about doing that as a daily thought. The only reason I thought about that, and this is so strange, that I was talking about Michael B. Jordan not too long ago. And I was thinking about him because I'll be honest, nerds and gamers, they kind of turn me on. So when he had brought up the whole Marvel versus Capcom thing too, which is my favorite video game, and that he even knows what that game is because, like I said, he's really cute. I was just like, what would it be like dating him? Would he expect me to be camera ready all the time? Because I wouldn't expect him to be camera ready. I don't expect him to be I wouldn't expect him to be Michael B. Jordan all the time if I was in a relationship with him, or dating or whatever. And I just got to thinking about that. And I'm like, well, when it comes to relationships, some people do expect that. And I don't get it, but I digress. I'll probably discuss that another day. Let me get into this actual daily thought that I mean to discuss, which is stand down. Stand down. I'm sipping my tea. My hibiscus tea. I love this tea. So stand down. Sometimes we have this knee-jerk reaction or feeling to intervene when intervention may not be required. And what I mean by that is where we may feel that someone is in trouble and the first thing we want to do is help. And if you have that type of demeanor where you're constantly doing that, where the first sign of trouble that lands at your doorstep in front of you, or let me rephrase, the first sign of someone else's troubles that land at your doorstep in front of you, and you're like, oh, I gotta help, when you just hear about the situation, because naturally you don't want those around you or those you care about to suffer in any way. You don't want them to go through the thing we call life, which is being uncomfortable sometimes and learning how to grow. But I have to dip back into one of my old episodes where you have to refill your cup, because when you're jumping out all the time to help everyone else, you don't have much time to refill your cup. And then while you're busy helping everyone else and you haven't refilled your cup is empty. But I'm telling you to stand down also because sometimes in life, I remember it was a tarot card reader, I forgot which one. And in for those who may be new to the podcast or the show, shout out to iHeart people, iHeart Radio people. For those who don't know, I watch a lot of tarot card readings because I find them interesting. I find what the readers say to be interesting. And they always say that, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But in the midst of explaining what the cards are saying or what they interpret the cards as saying, because one person could see a spread of cards and interpret that same spread totally different from someone else. Just like I was watching something today and they were interpreting it one way, but I'm like, well, it could also mean this too, is what I'm thinking in my head as I'm watching this person interpret the cards. But anyways, one of the cards in the tarot deck is the Tower. The Tower card is where something happens that it wasn't built on solid foundation. Where since it wasn't built on solid foundation, it has to crumble in order to be built stronger. And it has to be so the situation can be corrected. Sometimes it happens where people overlook something or they ignore something and they continue to ignore it and it continues to fester. And then all of a sudden it just crumbles or a whole situation just blows up. That's what's known as a Tower moment. And one thing that a tarot card reader was saying one time, I'm trying to get comfortable here, just bear with me. I'm in my chair. For those who are watching, for those who are listening, that's what I'm doing. But for the Tower moment, when somebody goes through a Tower moment, the tarot card reader has said, the Tower moment happens for a purpose. It happens to bring to attention something that was neglected. And for whoever is happening to learn a lesson. And they mentioned for someone coming in to try to keep the tower from falling or to try to do an assist so quickly, you're not allowing the person to learn the lesson from the moment. The universe is trying to teach them a lesson, and you're possibly intervening in what the universe is doing. Now, we don't know what the universe's intentions are. It may be the universe's intentions that you are to intervene. However, usually when things happen in life, it is to help people grow. Again, comfort and growth aren't friends. So if you're going to grow, more than likely you're going to be uncomfortable during the process. But for us as human beings, for people that we love, we always want to be the first to jump out, just like parents with their kids. If something's happening with a parent's child, a parent's knee jerk reaction is usually to jump out and do this and do that to try and prevent whatever from bad from happening to their child, or to prevent something from happening again. Where in some cases, it might be good to let it happen, because then it teaches the child a lesson. And it teaches them how to maneuver and adjust when they run into that same situation again, when the parent's not around or not available, because parents are not always available to help their children. Sadly, that's life. So for any type of relationship, whether it's friendship, family, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, work relationship, pick your poison. It's not always up to you to jump out and be the first one on the scene. In addition to that, if you have things that need to be adjusted and looked after within your own circle, then it would be more to your advantage to focus on cleaning up all of your stuff, or as much stuff as you can first, before you try to play captain save whoever. And that's why I'm saying, take time to pause and think and stand down. Part of it can also be looked at as maybe ego to a certain degree, to think that, well, if I don't come to the rescue, if I don't help this coworker, if I don't help this friend, if I don't help this family member, if I don't help my husband, if I don't help my wife, when every single little thing happens, if I'm not the first to jump out, then the problem won't get solved. How do you know that? You don't. You don't know that. And I don't either. But one thing I do know is that the world doesn't stop turning. Life keeps going. And it's a possibility that by you not jumping out, the tower will crumble and that person will learn a lesson. Some people might call that tough love as well. And I'm not saying be all about self-preservation either, because it's okay to be a little selfish to take care of yourself, but don't be, I don't want to say stingy, because that's not the word, because stingy usually refers to money and financial stuff. Make sure that you're loving yourself enough. Make sure that you're doing that. And also weighing things out to determine the best time to help others. And it's okay. It's actually encouraged. I encourage it to help others. I love helping people, which, it can be, that trait can be a blessing and a curse. Because some people, once they see you love to help, they'll take advantage, because it's human nature. And it's not their fault that they're willing to take advantage. It would be my fault for allowing it to happen and stuff. So, because People will be people. However, don't back away from helping people, and don't always be the first to raise your hand and go in and save someone, is what I'm saying. Because it's a possibility that events are happening behind the scenes. The universe is doing stuff behind the scenes to teach someone how to grow. If you're always the first person there on the scene to save them, then they won't be uncomfortable. They'll always be comfortable. And again, comfort and growth are not friends. So take a moment and think, pause for a second, stand down. Life will still go on while you're contemplating on whether to rush in or not. Life will go on if you don't rush in. Whether you do or whether you don't, life will go on. The world doesn't stop for anyone, as much as we would like to believe that it does. So yeah, stand down. Make sure you're taken care of. Make sure you're doing what you need to do for yourself. Make sure that you do offer to help people, because that's a good thing. But also make sure that you're not being a crutch, and make sure that you're not overextending yourself, and make sure that you're refilling your cup, and make sure that you're allowing people the opportunity to grow. And sometimes the best way to do that is to stand down. And that's all I got. That's my daily thought. So, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform, KIRWKC on Twitter, on Instagram, loading on IGTV, which I'll be uploading videos this weekend. And my goal is to upload a Keeping It Real with KC show this weekend, which I have no idea what. Actually, you know what? While have my chart, what would the episode be? It would, okay, so this would be a sports weekend. Okay, so it'd be a sports episode weekend. That'll be interesting. So what I will do is I will find a sports story to talk about. Last sports story was the hidden cameras in the locker room. For those who may not know, go check out the episode if you haven't listened to it. But yeah, I'll be doing that, and I will be uploading my old episodes to IGTV, because for the people who now may be watching on IGTV, they will have access to those, even though they can go to YouTube or Daily Motion, but whatever. Which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or Daily Motion, you can hit the subscribe button, followed by the notification bell. That will let you know when I upload new videos, yada, 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 yada. Facebook.com/KIRWKC. Swing by the page, give a like. I'm ready to make my hot dogs. I can't believe I made some hot dogs day before yesterday, and I forgot I had fries in the freezer. I forgot all about the fries. So now I want to have hot dogs. They're not meat hot dogs. They're vegan hot dogs. So I want to have, but they taste just like hot dogs. I kid you not. I want to have the hot dogs and I want to have the fries. I'll be good to go. So yeah. Anyways, thank you to everyone who's been listening to the podcast and supporting the show. I really appreciate it. For all the new listeners, welcome, welcome, welcome. Watchers, welcome, welcome, welcome. And that's it. Until next time, be blessed.